Ever get that feeling, when you're picking out sneakers, and it's like, almost like choosing a side, Adidas or Puma? Turns out, that feeling, it's not just in your head, it's got a history, and it's a wild one. So get ready to dive deep as we explore the family feud turned global sports showdown. Adidas versus Puma.
It's one of those stories, it just grabs you. We're going way past marketing here into the heart of pure ambition, innovation, and we've all had sibling rivalry, but this gets intense.
Yeah, no, we're talking about real brothers here, right? Adolf Adi and Rudolf Dassler. Picture it. 1920s Germany. They're starting a shoe company. Where? Their mom's laundry room. I mean, you can't make this stuff up.
Seriously, this tiny town, Herzogenaurach, it becomes this unlikely birthplace of not one, but two footwear empires. I can practically see it. You've got buckets of soapy water next to sewing machines, shoe designs everywhere. Talk about humble beginnings.
Okay, but how do we get from laundry soap suds to this global domination? Was it as simple as these brothers just knew how to make a good shoe?
It was more than just knowing, right? Adi, he was the innovator, obsessed, totally obsessed with the perfect athletic shoe, always tinkering, new materials, new designs, always searching for that edge. And then you have Rudolf. He was the business mind, knew how to build those partnerships, and maybe more importantly, how to get their shoes on the right feet, the athletes who'd make them famous.
So the classic dynamic duo creative genius meets business mastermind. Sounds like a recipe for success. But something tells me with a rivalry this legendary, something had to give.
Yeah, you gotta figure, things were gonna get complicated. You see, the Dassler brothers. Strong personalities. Add in the pressure cooker of World War II, rumors, accusations. That recipe for success, it gets a little less tasty,
Accusations. Okay, now we're getting to the good stuff. What went down? Give me the details.
So it's a murky time, right? During the war, these rumors start swirling, right? That Adi, he might have been involved with the Nazi regime. Now, these were never proven, okay. But the suggestion alone, that was enough, more than enough, to drive a wedge between them.
Wow, talk about a family rift. So how does this all lead to Adidas and Puma? Do they have one of those, epic blowout fights in the laundry room, splitting the sewing machines down the middle?
Well, not quite a laundry room brawl, but by 1948, yeah, the tension. It was too much. They split the company. And get this, they even split their hometown right down the middle. Families in Herzogenaurach, they had to choose sides. Loyalties were tested, friendships. Oof, this tiny dreaming town. It was like this microcosm of this rivalry that was about to explode onto the world.
So, 1948, mark it down, folks. Adidas and Puma are officially born.
Yeah.
Did they flip a coin for who got which name? How did they land on those? Because those are iconic.
All right, so Adidas. That came from combining Adidas' nickname with the first three letters of their last name, Dassler. Rudolf. He first tried going with Ruda for his company.
Oh, yeah, I get that. Thank goodness for Puma, right?
Right.
Okay, so now we've got these two brothers, once united, now separated by, a whole lot of history, ambition, maybe a little hurt. What happens next in this shoe-based Shakespearean drama?
Next. Oh, they decide the world's their stage, and they're taking this rivalry global. The sports arena is about to become very interesting.
All right, I think I need to lace up my sneakers for this one. I have a feeling things are about to get competitive.
Okay, so picture this, all right? It's the 1954 World Cup. The world's watching, right? Still recovering from the war. And you've got these two brothers, once united, now literally on opposite sides of the field.
Talk about pressure. So who makes the first move? Which brand, which brother scores the first goal in this global shoe showdown?
Adidas. Strategic play right out of the gate. They outfitted the German national team. Yeah. They won. The German team. They win the whole tournament.
Oof. Can only imagine Rudolf, right? Watching that final game, knowing his brother, his company, forever linked to that victory.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Oh, yeah. That had to hurt. But Puma, they weren't about to be left behind. They strike back, and they strike back hard. Puma starts signing some of the biggest names in the sport.
Let me guess.
Pele.
Of course.
Sebio, later on. Even Maradona.
So every goal, every win, it was a point for one brother or the other. But did it ever go too far? I mean, this is family we're talking about.
Things could get, let's just say things got intense.
How intense?
Corporate espionage. Definitely more than rumors. Attempts to poach athletes. Smear campaigns against the competition's products. It was rough.
This is getting good. This rivalry is straight out of a spy film. But amidst all the drama, all the back and forth, the innovation had to be off the charts, right? You don't become global icons just by signing big names.
That's the thing about this whole story, isn't it? All that rivalry. It pushed them to innovate, to design better shoes. It's remarkable, really.
So give me the highlights. What kind of shoe tech came out of this battle of the brands?
All right, think about the Adidas 3 stripes.
Iconic.
Right. But they're not just a fashion statement. Adi, he was a genius. Those stripes, they actually provide support. They act as external reinforcement. Nobody was doing that back then.
Huh. I never thought about it that way. Those stripes, they weren't just style. They were about performance, pushing the limits. What about Puma? How did they innovate?
Puma? They changed the game, literally. They invented interchangeable cleats for football boots.
Seriously.
Before that, cleats were fixed, you were stuck. Puma's design, though. Athletes could customize their shoes depending on the game, the weather, everything. It was a huge advantage.
So this rivalry, it wasn't just about creating some of the biggest brands ever. It actually changed the game itself. You know what they say? Necessity is the mother of invention. But maybe sibling rivalry deserves some credit too.
Absolutely. They pushed each other. Those two brothers, I mean, they couldn't stand each other, but they made each other better. It's kind of amazing when you think about it.
And this is the deep dive, so I want to go even deeper. This wasn't just about sports, was it? Adidas and Puma, they became part of the culture. So how did they go from, like, outfitting athletes to influencing entire generations? So last we left off, Adidas and Puma, they weren't just battling it out on the field anymore. It was bigger than that. They were becoming icons, part of the culture. How did they do that? Go from, like, sports equipment to, I don't know, a whole vibe.
It's a trip, right? Back in the 60s, the 70s, sneakers, strictly functional for sports. Nobody was rocking them on the streets like they are now. But both Adidas, Puma, they stumbled onto something, maybe by accident, but they found it.
Okay, but what was it? What was that? Something? How'd they figure out how to be cool?
It was about tapping into what was happening culturally. Like, take Adidas and the rise of hip-hop, Run DMC.
Iconic.
Exactly. Those Adidas superstars, no laces. Man, that was a statement. And then this song, My Adidas. That was huge.
It's wild, right? How does shoe become about music, identity, even politics? It's more than just a shoe at that point.
Absolutely. And Puma, they did their own thing, too. For them, it was about rebellion, challenging everything. That image of Tommy Smith and John Carlos, 1968 Olympics, fists raised, what were they wearing?
Puma, right.
Puma. It's seared into our minds. That image linked them to social change forever. Powerful stuff.
It's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it. This brand, born in a laundry room, family drama everywhere, and it becomes about something so much bigger.
It's the rivalry, you know, but also how these brands, they outgrew their founders in a way. Choosing Adidas or Puma, it was a statement, you know, about who you were, what you believed. It wasn't just about the shoes anymore.
And that brings us to today, right? The Dassler brothers, they're gone, but the rivalry's still going strong. So what's different? What does this all look like in the 21st century?
The game's changed, that's for sure. It's not about family anymore. Now it's about the future of footwear, like sustainability. That's huge. Where do your shoes come from? How are they made? What about the planet? Consumers want to know. So Adidas, Puma, they're all over it. Recycled materials, ethical sourcing, the whole deal.
Makes sense. People care about that now more than ever. Like you said, it's the future.
It's not enough to just be stylish anymore. And then there's personalization, you know, custom fits, shoes designed for how you move, even apps that track your performance, tell you what to buy.
Wow. We've come a long way from that little German town, that's for sure. So what's the takeaway here? What can this whole Adidas Puma saga teach us about innovation, about competition? I don't know, maybe even about ourselves.
It's a good question. I think for me, it shows that even when things get messy, when you've got rivalry sometimes, it pushes us to do amazing things, to create, to innovate, to be better, even if it starts with, you know, a little sibling rivalry.
So next time you're putting on your sneakers, your Adidas, your Pumas, whatever you're rocking, remember, it's not just a shoe. You're stepping into a story, one of ambition, innovation, and a rivalry for the ages.
And who knows what's next? The future of footwear, it's wide open.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, with Adidas and Puma still going at it, it's going to be fun to watch.